Well, originally I was taught, like everyone, the Copenhagen interpretation of quantum mechanics. So when we get taught this one seems like the most viable interpretation, and like we're kind of taught it as if it's absolute fact. So coming into the project, that's the interpretation that like I obviously knew the most and favoured the most. But other than that, I knew of the many worlds interpretation, mostly like just in popular like TV shows like The Big Bang Theory, other things like that. I just heard of that, and a lot of people seem to find it quite cool and interesting, but like I wasn't aware of like actually what it involved that much, but just heard of it. Throughout the project, I'd mostly researched into the de Broglie-Bohm theorem, interpretation of quantum mechanics, and my research into that kind of like showed me that all this kind of quantum weirdness that we learn when being taught quantum mechanics isn't completely necessary. Like all this stuff like an electron, it goes in two places, it's in two places at once. All that stuff isn't like a must in quantum mechanics, and there are other ideas out there that can change that. And obviously from knowing a bit about the many worlds interpretation, although I didn't know much about it, after having read about it and looked into it more, I like now see that like it has quite a few problems. Even though it is this really popular theory, it's like difficult to test or untestable, and maybe even violates conservation of energy and things like that. So although it's this really popular theory because it sounds like this really cool idea, it may not be as viable as others, as like mass populace might believe. Well, my views now, I still probably think the Copenhagen interpretation is probably the most viable, just even though that may be because I currently still know the most about it and that's what I've been taught. But that still, to me, seems the most viable, as, for example, the many worlds has the conservation of energy problem and how it's difficult to test, and the Broglie-Bohm theorem, although it seems like an interesting avenue to explore going forward, it has yet to be reconciled with relativity, so it's currently not complete. So it's something interesting going forward, but not necessarily a complete thing. So right now, I would say, although there are interesting avenues to explore, Copenhagen is probably on the most firm footing.